Talk Radio. WBMC News is next.
If you've been waiting for the perfect time to buy a new Ford truck, that time is now. At Reddick Brown Ford in Morrison, get 0% financing for 60 months on a brand new Ford F-150, including the STX, XLT, and Lariat models. That's right, no interest, 5 years, brand new truck. And many of our F-150s are priced at $1 over invoice. These deals won't last long, so get behind the wheel of America's best-selling truck today. So make that short drive down to Highway 55 to Reddick Brown Ford, where your new Ford is waiting.
Christmas is just around the corner, and Caney Fork Electric invites you to kick off the season with us. Join us for our Christmas open house on Tuesday, December 2nd from 11 to 1 at 920 Smithville Highway. We're excited to share our brand new Almanac calendar featuring 12 tasty recipes. Stop by to receive your free copy and register for door prizes. Bring a canned food item to help local families in need this Christmas. Mark your calendar and celebrate the season with us at Caney Fork Electric Christmas Open House, Tuesday, December 2nd from 11 to 1 at 920 Smithville Highway.
In the Main Street Journal news, the Black History Museum of Warren County will mark Veterans Day with a special presentation at Magnus Library on Tuesday, November 11th, beginning at noon. The event will highlight the legacy of the 13th United States Colored Infantry, an African-American regiment that served in the Union Army during the Civil War. The group was organized in Nashville in 1863 and fought in key battles, including the Battle of Nashville, losing more men to disease than combat during its 3 years of service. Gary Burke, a reenactor with the 13th Regiment Living History Association, will share stories and showcase military uniforms in a live historical interpretation. Admission is free, with donations appreciated, and light refreshments will be served. The event honors both Veterans Day and the contributions of black soldiers who fought for freedom and equality. More local news is just a click away at mainstreetjournal.llc. Until next time, I'm Rob Nunley.
This weather is brought to you by Exchange Furniture.
Since 1935, Exchange Furniture Company has been honored to serve Warren and surrounding counties with their furniture needs. We offer quality living room, dining, bedroom suites, and pound for pound the best two-sided mattresses around. We offer payment options, free delivery, free setup, service after the sale, folks. It's all happening at one place, and that's Exchange Furniture Company, 306 West Morford Street in downtown McMinnville, where we say every day, it pays to do business where business is being done.
I'm Fox 17 Code Red meteorologist Greg Bobus. Starting off this week on a very cold note, our coldest air so far this season. This morning and also tomorrow morning, temperatures below the 32-degree mark, making it our first freeze of the year. Afternoon highs don't get much better. We'll be in the mid to upper 30s. We'll be breezy at times. A few flashes of sun, but also flurries and a few light snow showers possible. Nashville on east could even see a little stick out toward the plateau.
Hello, welcome to the Coach Eric Belew Show here on WBMC 97.7 FM. I'm the host, Jeff Simmons, but we are all about Coach Eric Belew today after his Pioneers take care of business in the Nurseryman's Bowl, 64-0 over Community to finish 6-5 overall. Coach, congratulations.
Thank you.
First year, first winning season. Those things don't happen around. I've been covering football for 15 years. It took me 10 years before I covered a winning season. You come in and in one shot, one hit on that. How does it feel now that it's complete? Now I know that y'all knowing very well that next week y'all will be starting on 2026.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But how was the weekend? Was there any reflection of the totality of everything y'all were able to accomplish this season?
Yeah, I think a lot of reflection, something I do at the end of every season. My wife and I, we go to the mountains and kind of shut everything off. But, it was funny on the drive down. She was like, well, how do you feel about the season? It's a lot. I'm very sad that the seniors, that I only got 1 year with them, just how they've treated our family, just how my daughter looks up to those guys, her being 3, this was her first time fully understanding like there's a football season going on and daddy's the coach and these are the players and just how she just took to those guys. It was great. So I think the weekend I was just kind of more sad than anything, just that, unfortunately, that's it with those guys.
It was interesting that you say that because I felt like I got there and saw y'all after the game, and you could see that there was a little bit more meandering, it seemed like, after the game, a little bit more that you could tell there were certain people and certain kids on the team that just didn't want to leave.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, this is it. And then they're taking pictures or they're taking every opportunity to soak it in because, it in a lot of aspects, like you said, there's 10 seniors that did play their final football game for Warren County. Now, that being said, I think of those 10 seniors, like 9 of them are going to be Pioneers in some fashion. Heck, some of them might have started this weekend doing some other things in wrestling or basketball or baseball in the spring. But this was the last time they were going to be Pioneers on the football field. And I do think that you could tell after the game, everybody was trying to soak that in.
Yeah, for sure. And that doesn't always happen. I've been places and been where it's just like, all right, let's move on.
Where's the bus?
Yeah.
When's it leaving?
Yeah,
is there food back there?
Yeah. And even on teams that have had winning seasons, it's not the record isn't the ultimate, deciding factor on that. It's ultimately just the bond that you create. And, one thing that CJ spoke to our team, before the game, and he was kind of asking, players, and even he asked some of the coaches, what's your why? Why do you play? Relationships was brought up a lot. So that ultimately is what I'm most pleased about is just the relationships that have been developed that'll last for a lifetime.
The one thing that another thing that came out of that game beyond the fixing the winning figuring out the winning season, the 64-0, a very efficient game that y'all played there. You also had a couple of records that y'all were able to take down. One, Brady Swallows at the very end of the first half ends up setting the single-season completion record. Later in the game, Isaiah Robledo sets the single-season reception record, which it's funny those things kind of go hand in hand every now and then on that one. It was the reaction for the team because it felt like in some ways, in the third quarter of that game, your team almost willed Isaiah into getting that record. It was like, guys, we're going to do this for him. Did you feel that at all on the sideline that everybody kind of collectively came out and said, Isaiah's done this, we need to get this for him? Yeah,
kind of when you get that close and you're in that situation where you feel like you have the game in hand, he just deserves it. Yep. He does everything right, and Brady as well. It's one of those things where, all right, let's figure out whatever we got to do to make sure that these kids get, what they deserve.
Yeah, I've looked at I know there's going to be some people that are going to be critical. And heck, I read some of it over the weekend about, they did this or did that. I sit there and thought about it like this. 21 games. 21 games that those kids walked out on Friday nights from the time they were sophomores until the time that they were a third week of their senior year, that they got beat.
Yeah.
That it could have been easy to say, I'm done with this. Over 20 folks, I don't think that's 2 straight years. That's 750 some odd days that those kids had to feel like they weren't winners. I think that the pay, like you said, the deserve part about that is unequivocal. If you want to argue how it happened, I'll say this much: as the stats guy, who's one of like 2 people in all of Warren County who's been keeping up for stats. We counted postseason stats on the other teams. If you got to the postseason, your stats continue to count. So there's nothing egregious that happened on the other night, other than the fact that 2 kids who have put a lot into the Pioneer uniform over the last 2 years kind of got their flowers when they had a chance to do it.
Yeah, and you just can't do anything but be happy for them.
Yes.
Those are 2 kids that have, one of them has a 4.0 and the other one has a 3.6.
Yep.
Those are kids, and even Chris, I think second all time in yards in a season, if I'm not mistaken. If not, he was close.
Very close.
Yeah, and that's another kid that's a 3.9, 4.0 GPA. I mean, we're not just talking about kids that just show up to practice. I mean, these kids show up and work from 7:45 till 4:30. At the end of practice, it's just they all deserve those accolades. And I think even. I know we don't have defensive stats, which most places don't keep them, but I would guarantee that Xavier Simmons Tackles for loss
man.
would be up there.
Way up there. And then, of course, Raul with his tackle.
Yeah.
And then just in general. And I think Isaiah and Brady both made the same point after the game talking to Sam Griffin on the field. And if you want to read that report, you can on the Main Street Journal. You don't get any of those records without a good offensive line, guys that are working together on that. So it felt like in some aspects, yes, Brady's name's going to go on there and Isaiah's name's going to go on there. But the 2025 Pioneers are going to be remembered because of the things that happen on that. So I think that there's something to be taken away on that, plus 6-5 record and a Nurseryman's Bowl. Hey, you didn't give up points in the Nurseryman's Bowl, which kept a 44-year-long streak going on. We haven't given up points in the Nurseryman's Bowl since 78.
Wow.
So actually that's 47 years on that one. I was a little nervous for y'all. Don't be the ones.
That's right.
Don't be the ones, Coach, on that one. Hey, we're going to go back and we're going to watch some of those highlights from the Nurseryman's Bowl when we get back here on the Coach Eric Belew Show on WBMC 97.7 FM.
Ready for a new journey? Durham School Services is hiring school bus drivers in McMinnville. Stop by 126 Middle School Drive Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. for on-the-spot interviews. Bring a friend. Enjoy flexible hours and competitive pay starting at $16 an hour. Want more info? Text JOBS to 63552. That's JOBS to 63552. It's all about the journey, theirs and yours.
Hi folks, this is David Mason Simpson with DM Simpson Realtors and Auctioneers. If you're looking for a realtor to list your home, farm, land, or commercial property, we're ready to go to work for you. We'll evaluate your property and then promote it locally, regionally, and nationally. If you've been looking for the service you deserve in the real estate business, call the friendly folks selling Middle Tennessee and beyond at 473-LAND. DM Simpson Realtors and Auctioneers, serving you since 2007.
Every farming operation has a story with a past, present, and future. Farm Credit Mid-America wants to get to know your farm story because we're a lending cooperative owned by farmers. And that's why we offer a range of loans and services designed to help farmers grow and prosper. Because we know why no one knows a farmer like a farmer does. Learn more about Farm Credit Mid-America and some of our farmers' stories at fcma.com. Loan subject to credit approval. Additional terms and conditions may apply. Farm Credit Mid-America is an equal opportunity lender.
Where can you go to spend some quality up-close and personal time alone with none other than 3 Star Cinema? Head over to the most affordable and convenient place in town featuring the latest releases fresh on the silver screen. 3 Star Cinema.
Now showing Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere, rated PG-13. Predator Badlands, rated PG-13. Regretting You, rated PG-13. Black Phone 2, rated R. And Chainsaw Man, rated R.
Sparta Street, McMinnville. 3 Star Cinema, where the stars come out at night.
Weekly specials are here again from our friends at Warehouse Discount Groceries. Now listen to these. Kentucky Legend quarter sliced ham, just $5.49 a pound. 5-pound bag of Colorado russet potatoes, $1.99. Sundrop Dr. Pepper 7-Up RC or A&W 2 liters, just 2 for $3. And Wishbone salad dressing 15 ounce, just 2 for $4. All these great deals and more. Don't forget those sweet deals over in the deli from our friends at Warehouse Discount Groceries, 835 Smithville Highway on the Strip.
Come on in and see how good it feels.
You'll always be treated right when you arrive at Ed Rogers Chevrolet with the new Chevrolet Am vehicles, plus a great selection of quality used vehicles. At Ed Rogers Chevrolet, there's also an outstanding service department, proud to be family-owned for over 50 years.
So come on in and see how good it feels.
Get that great feeling of saving money today at Ed Rogers Chevrolet in Sparta and EdRogersChevy.net.
Hello, and welcome back to the Coach Eric Belew Show here on WBMC 97.7 FM. We are going to click on and find a little bit of the huddle film that we got to see from the other night.
Where they want to go drone.
Want to go drone on this one? All right, coach is working through me.
Last game of the year, we ain't worried about giving away drone film.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we can go to the video on this, Connor, and see how it goes on this. I don't know exactly where we're at, where we've picked up. Did we start? There's no way that we started this one with. We started with the ball.
Yeah.
Coach, we lose our first touchdown.
Yeah, sometimes
on this one.
the drone is, can be gets up there a little late.
Yeah, understandable. Well, hey, you started the game with a pass that you ended up working that has worked the last 2 weeks, which was the shovel pass, and Isaiah takes it in for a 50-yard touchdown very early in the game. How did that set the tone for what happened on Friday night or Thursday night?
Yeah, it's a look that we like. It's another way to get Isaiah the ball while you're still kind of running a run block the scheme. And he does a great job. Being patient and seeing the hole and obviously making some big plays on it the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, now we've forced the punt, and that's where we're at on the video screen if you're watching with us right now. Coach, I knew that we weren't too much stat hunting in this game or stat chasing or record chasing on this one, because if we were, you would have told everybody to stop fielding punts, because it felt like every single time they touched the ball on a punt return, y'all had a chance. Now, I'll say this much. I was really impressed with Community's punter. I thought he did a really good job getting the ball out there. It just so happened that sometimes when he got the ball out there too far, Isaiah Robledo had some open grass in front of him, and I don't think that any team of this year has looked forward to trying to tackle Isaiah Robledo in open grass.
Yeah, we roll punt. I think it's something that, at the high school level, you just got to do. I mean, and now obviously it doesn't work out in their favor here, but, it's just a great opportunity to get the ball on the ground, and very, very few high school players will field a punt
once it hits rolling. The ground. Yep.
Now, Isaiah's an exception.
He's one of the very few, and he takes this one inside the 30 all the way into the 25, and y'all go back to work on that. And then again, too, I think this is the drive where I want to say Dylan Aguilar gets going on it. Well, of course, y'all go back to the screen or go back to the shovel pass that doesn't get completed, but eventually work the offense and working the. Just did you have any chance to talk to the guys about what y'all's strategies were on offense? What was the number one thing that y'all were trying to do against Community on Thursday night?
Well, I know that it seemed that we're pursuing but the quick game was there. That was kind of what we thought on film. They kind of loaded the box, and we were going to be able to throw the quick stuff and kind of sneak Zay around. They're a stack, so what all that is you've got 3 linebackers that are stacked behind the D lineman, which is a little bit different than most other fronts. So we felt that really solid about having a tight end, because that kind of puts some conflict in them. And then running unbalanced stuff like this with Chris, where we're motioning them into the strong side of the formation and running a run play with them.
Yep. So this was the Christopher Robledo 20-yard touchdown, not to be confused with the Dylan Aguilar touchdown that also happened in the first quarter. And Dylan, like you said, just pretty good blocking. And then the moment that Chris or Isaiah get in the open field,
and I think Chris actually eclipsed 1,000 yards total between receiving and rushing, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe you are correct.
If not, he's pretty close.
Yeah, I can pull those stats. We can get those together on that. So at that point, you're actually up 21-0 because Dylan Aguilar had a 41-yard or 45-yard touchdown run on y'all's second drive. The first drive was a 57-yard or 50-yard shovel pass touchdown. 21-0, 5 minutes into the game. How at that point was that the expectation that y'all had set for y'allself on that one, and what was the vibe on the sidelines in that first quarter? It had to feel pretty good.
Yeah, and I think as a staff, that's our expectation every time we line up on Friday night. Is we want to score at the tempo at which we want to dictate, and obviously we want to keep 0 points on the board as much as possible. And I really love how our staff coaches that way, no matter who we're playing. Whether we're playing a team that's averaging 40 points a game. We still have the mentality that they're not going to score any, and vice versa on the offensive side of the ball. So just really, excited about how the staff and the players executed early.
And I do think that somewhere in the midst of end of the first quarter, start of the second quarter, you took a timeout, especially I think on a drive that y'all ended up punting on like a 4th and 40.
Yeah.
The punt barely made it back to the sticks on that one. What was that message to kind of get them focused back up on, or I'm assuming was maybe a little bit of that. That was the conversation.
Yeah, it's same thing about not being circumstantial. We don't want to let, the scoreboard or conditions, no matter what it is, those can't dictate how we play and how we're executing. What was, frustrating was, penalties.
Mm-hmm.
That's just something that you just can't afford to have no matter what the score is. So it's just kind of a reset. We feel like players kind of took a deep breath after that and then started executing.
Yeah, we skipped ahead a little bit and got so the Pioneers get the ball back, as you said, the refocus. And then, again, I know people were kind of critical of the shovel pass and saying, like, oh, yeah, this was when it's working this well, I don't know why you get away from it.
Yeah, it's just kind of deceptive. It looks like our sprint out that we do with Brady, but then it kind of gets everybody moving lateral, and then you can run. We're running power behind that, so it's a way for the offensive line to run a scheme that they've always ran since day one, but then kind of get a little different look on the back end.
I don't want to. I mean, we got an entire off season. People can scout, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does Isaiah have an option to pitch this, or is this just the how Dylan ends up being right here?
Yeah, Dylan's kind of eye candy right there. Now there are some teams.
I just happened to look at it and I was like, are they doing that on purpose right now? Because there is an aspect of, at this point, if Dylan and Isaiah stay in pitch Congress right there, that Isaiah brings us out there and pitches it to Dylan.
To be honest, if that happened, I wouldn't be surprised. But that is not something that we have put in.
And I think at some point right here, Isaiah is probably just angry that he didn't get to finish this off with a touchdown because he done a lot. He did a lot of work. I don't think he likes being tackled ever.
Well, yeah, and he doesn't get enough credit, just with his size, but he runs angry. That's something that he deserves a whole lot of credit for.
Yeah. And, of course, he gets y'all inside the 5. Kind of, like you said, got the offense back on time right there and then makes a layout catch on the goal line. And I think if I have an idea here, I feel like you might have gotten a little bit frustrated with the fact that – or was this the one where Xavier has the touchdown?
Yeah, and, thing here is we got to sprint out to the right. We got to put our foot in the ground and then deliver the ball.
Yeah.
We kind of floated it. At the quarterback, especially inside the 20, you can't throw a fadeaway. You've got to stick your foot in the ground and rip it in there.
Yeah. Now, for the people that did not know on that one, that actually the play that happened before that, they were called for roughing the passer on this play because I think there was some confusion because they ended up resetting the downs and everybody thought that y'all went for it on 4th down. I was like, no, they didn't. They went for it on 2nd down because community was called for roughing the passer, hitting Brady on that play. And as you can see, the flag comes out. And then eventually Jackson Clark ends up punching it in for the touchdown.
Yeah, another senior that deserves to get in the end zone.
Yep. At that point, I believe y'all were up 28-0, but the scoring, again, was not done. As we watched a little bit of y'all's defensive highlights in the game. How did you feel like that? In a game that your defense ends up holding the opponent to negative yardage, I believe, for the game.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good defensive night. Shutout, negative yardage. I don't what were the thought process or after the game? What did you tell your defense and Coach Harris?
They were a little unusual offensively. It's something that we hadn't really seen before. Kind of loading the box and running some more traditional. I guess what people like. Right there you have this. Dual action handoff pitch. He's giving it to the fullback, and all kinds of crazy things are going on. So that. Yeah. But that's a great job by Dylan, staying where he's supposed to be. And I think limiting their ability to make big plays was what we were most pleased about.
Yep. And then, of course, again, y'all get into a punt situation where the ball gets snapped over the head, and the punter just did a decent job of running that one out there. Question, just a game theory stuff right here. What are you coaching your punter to do in that situation? You want him – is it take the safety, or do you try to get the yards and hope that – because, you're going to have a turnover on downs no matter what, but you're not giving up points if you don't take the safety, and then you might be able to get the defensive stop. Would you rather him try to run that out or just concede the safety?
Well, I think, for us, like having Xavier back there, you have an athlete, you kind of tell them, hey, you got to do what you got to do to get out of the end zone. But what can't happen is you can't give up 6.
Yep.
You can, as much as you hate to say it, you can give up 2, have a firm, grasp on the ball, and if you can get out, yep. But, if you're in a situation where you have a true punter who's probably not the most athletic, just take the 2 and live with it.
Yeah, dive on the ball, just like you said. Just don't let them get the ball on that one. I always thought it was interesting because I think even Jeff Lee said it. He goes, "Oh, he probably should have just stayed in there and took the safety." I'm like, or don't really want to give up the 2 points if you don't have to give up the 2 points on that. And again, but because of the punt, and I think y'all take over the ball inside the 10 and go right back to work, get Isaiah moving in different ways, and coach, man.
Yeah.
You got to love the blocking on the outside right here.
Yeah, it's a great job by the receivers. It's a thing that, if you don't block, you don't get the rock. That's kind of what we tell them. And Chris is probably our best open field blocker, which is one of the reasons why he deserves. I think he got over 80 touches this year. Yep. So, we're thrilled about their unselfishness.
Yeah, Clark and Gillespie get a good. No, that's not. Who's our puller here? Is that Holder?
Yes, yeah.
Holder, we did him dirty, man. I think he was a little upset about that.
Picture?
I put the picture up, and then I went to bed. I didn't think anything about it, and I woke up the next morning, and I had a message that said, "Hey, could y'all change that picture?" And I went and looked at him like, oh, yeah, we did that. Man. So we might have did him a little dirty on that one. Sorry about that, Ethan.
Caught him mid-yell is what it looked like.
But, hey, good block right here. Good washout block to get a touchdown.
Absolutely.
And the Pioneers take a 35-0 lead into halftime on that. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue to break down the film and let everybody know about some of the breakers that were broken in the second half, where it happened, and also where we got to see some of the young guys there at the end. We'll be back on the Coach Eric Belew Show.
At Express Motors, we're working hard to reinvent the used car buying experience. For you, that means a transparent deal on only quality inspected cars by our own mechanics. And great extras like free oil changes, free tows, and discounted service after the sale. We are the buy here, pay here car dealership you can trust. So come see us at 352 West Morford Street in McMinnville. Express Motors, where peace of mind and car buying come together. See our inventory now at expressmotorstn.com.
With the changing of the seasons, Middle Tennessee is a beautiful place to be. Now is the perfect time to purchase or remodel your home or to buy that boat, camper, or land you've been looking at. This is Matt Ritchie, loan officer at Security Federal, and I'm here to help make these dreams a reality. So whether you're ready to make a big purchase, invest for retirement, or just establish your credit, come see us at Security Federal. We are the local bank with smiling faces, always happy to help you. See why we are known as the friendliest bank in town. Security Federal, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
At Ben Lomond Connect, we are blessed to hear so many positive comments on the great internet connections that we provide. But behind those multi-gig fiber connections stand great teams. Teams that work with the public daily, like our customer service reps, install repair guys, and the local 24/7 customer support center. To others that work behind the scenes, like accounting, engineering, central office, and more. As our CEO likes to say, it takes all of us. If you haven't joined our Ben Lomond Fiber family, we would love to serve you. Call your local BLC office today or go to benlomondconnect.com. Great teams, great connections, Ben Lomond Connect.
Christmas is just around the corner, and Caney Fork Electric invites you to kick off the season with us. Join us for our Christmas open house on Tuesday, December 2nd from 11 to 1 at 920 Smithville Highway. We're excited to share our brand new almanac calendar featuring 12 tasty recipes. Stop by to receive your free copy and register for door prizes. Bring a canned food item to help local families in need this Christmas. Mark your calendar and celebrate the season with us at Caney Fork Electric Christmas open house Tuesday, December 2nd from 11 to 1 at 920 Smithville Highway.
At Pioneer Building Supply, we're your one-stop shop for lumber, tools, and building supplies. Whether you're tackling a major renovation or just need a few materials for a small project, we've got you covered. From framing to finishing touches, we have the products and expertise to help you get the job done right. Stop by and see us today at 231 Northgate Drive, Suite 250, McMinnville, or give us a call at 931-473-7777. Our friendly, knowledgeable team is always ready to help you with whatever you need for your next project. For 50 years, Pioneer Building Supply has been the trusted name in construction materials. We've built our reputation on quality, service, and the commitment to your success. Pioneer Building Supply, building your dreams since 1975.
Pioneer Building Supply. Pioneer Building Supply, where good business make good friends. Pioneer Building Supply.
Talk Radio WBMC McMinnville, 960 AM and 97.7 FM. WBMCRadio.com.
frozen up, Connor? We're back on WBMC.
Stream's good.
Oh, okay. No, we're back on WBMC 97.7 FM with the Coach Eric Belew Show. And I said something that was wrong before we went to break. I said y'all led 35-0 at halftime. Go to the film because y'all were not up 35-0 at halftime. You were up 42-0 at halftime because the coach put together a nice little 1-minute drill here in the last minute. I was very impressed with how y'all immediately jumped into this, and we're going to jump into it here on the Coach Eric Belew Show because it looked like I think y'all started with 2 pretty easy 15-yard completions to Isaiah.
Yeah, that's something we work, every Thursday. It's something that, we've got to do a really good job of getting back to the ball. And I think after the long catch, I may not have had any timeouts left or just had one, but we ran into hey, we've got to get up there and clock the ball. And that's usually on the linemen. They've got to get their tails down there and get lined up so we can clock it, and they did a great job doing that.
Our eye in the sky didn't catch the first 2 with the Isaiah, but just to give you an idea, it was almost this exact look right here where Isaiah is busting out and getting those quick 15-yard outs, and I think that community got bought into that, and the moment that they buy into that, look over the top because there goes Chris, and Chris makes you a big play, gets you inside, as you said, inside the 10-yard line. Again, go to the clock play, get the clock play, and then back to running the offense.
Yeah, it's we're just very pleased on how they were willing to execute there.
Yep, and then get to a 3rd and goal at this point. Was there any thought? You said that y'all went to the clock play. Was there any process of saying, "Hey, we might have just been able to," after the fact, thinking, "Oh, we probably could have just got to the line of scrimmage and called a play on that one," or were you pretty satisfied with saying we can get this done in 3 downs?
Yeah, it's just kind of hard to tell. When you're inside the 10, I guess it was like 32 seconds left or something like that. You're almost wondering, do I have enough time to even run 3 more plays, with us not having a timeout left? So I kind of felt in this situation, what is our best play? And we went to our shovel play because you feel like you're going to have a chance to at least run 2 more,
Well, Isaiah catches that one. That was Brady's 14th completion of the game, or actually that was the 15th completion for Brady Swallows in the game. He needed 15 to set the record. That was the single season record breaker right there. And then, of course, y'all go back to y'all's smokestack backfield. And I think this actually was 4th down.
Yes, yeah.
And Raul decides that he was not going to be stopped.
Yeah,
that's a pretty good penetration on community.
We blocked that
too.
Very poorly. But Raul is going to be who Raul is, and he's going to give everything he got, and we're just excited about how he executed.
Yep. Was there a? I don't know if it carried it over. Raul spikes this bad boy.
And they pop him with 15.
Yeah. Did he come over to you and say, "Hey, sorry, coach, I'm a senior"?
He was very respectful.
He always is. He's a super good kid.
Oh yeah.
I just thought I did think that I thought in those moments. I know you never want to have this actually go out and someone say at that point. Are you sitting there like he just run over a guy? It's it's his senior. It's his extended senior night. Like we'll live with that one.
Well, the whole conversation was caught on the mic'd up.
Oh, was it
with Brent Carden?
Oh, okay.
That'll get out there. I'm sure here in the near future.
Awesome. I can't wait to hear that one because, like I said, I do think there was some a funniness about it that I was like, I know that you're never gonna be like we're okay with that, right. But you at least understand.
For sure.
All right. So as the half winds down, community decides to let it air out, and Christopher Roletto is right there to make the play, and that kind of ended the half, and then y'all start with the ball to start the second half.
I think we kick off.
Yeah, I was gonna say so. Which means that this one's going through. I don't know where we because y'all definitely won the toss and elected to receive.
Yeah.
What was the decision on that? Because you haven't done that all year. Just get off to a hot start.
Yeah, I felt really good about our game plan offensively and as well as our defense. Just kind of wanted to start off, quickly.
Yep. This actually might be because that's the only time that they kicked off. We might just cycle back into the first plays of the first half, which means we could watch Isaiah's touchdown here in a second.
That's right. Yeah, this was the first.
Yeah, because I don't know how that happened. Yeah, I never know with these film, man.
Technology. I can't stand it.
You and I both, Coach, but we will be able to cycle up here and get Isaiah's touchdown, which I think is on this play right here.
Yeah.
So this was the first touchdown of the game that got you to 7-0, and the shovel works.
Yeah, really good down blocks
Yeah.
on the left side there. You know, that's something that they work every day is some version of a down block. You know, and play side there just does a really good job. Watson Holder.
And do you ever kiffin it on the sideline? Do you ever sit there and look and think, oh, if he catches this, he might go?
In my mind, I've been burned so many times when I verbalize it before the play. But then there's some times where, especially with the Robledos, it's like, oh, this is a terrible look. Oh, nope, they just scored a touchdown. So
I was going to say, because you were talking about that 3-3 stack that they had, and then when I just look at this alignment and know where the flow of this play is going, that I feel like you had to have been looking at this and say, hey, if we hit here, we're going to be in pretty phenomenal shape. Getting him out to the edge on it, and it's exactly what you said they did. Hat on a hat, running it off the coverage, hat on a hat, and then this is where you talk about too with Isaiah is this is phenomenal field vision to say I'm getting back to the green on that.
It's just something that you can coach it, but some of them just got it.
Yep.
You know, and he's one of those that accepts the coaching and he has it natural. I think, he did go over there and waved at Hattie. That's my family behind the scoreboard.
Yeah.
And he kind of momentum takes him into the play, and
goes and tells him, "Hey, thanks."
Yeah.
I was going to say that he might have gave her the game ball, but I think the game ball went to Jay Walker after the game.
Yeah.
How about that, man?
Well deserved.
Yeah. Hey, Connor, put us on. You can take us off the video for a second, and let's get to that.
Mm-hmm.
Following the game, Jay Walker gets the game ball. Mm-hmm. Which I think was a very classy move. But after the game also, Isaiah Robledo and Raul managed to get offensive and defensive MVPs on that. Just overall thought process of what those two kids did for those respective units this year.
Yeah. Raul just – what his stats are, they show the work that he put in. But he reminds me a lot of, like how people talk about that front or when – Ray Lewis and Ed Reed and Terrell Suggs all played at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
They were all probably the best players at that time in their position in the NFL.
Yep.
But that wasn't even close to why they were really good football players. They owned their unit. Ed Reed ran the defensive backfield. Ray Lewis ran the box. Suggs ran and that's what reminded me of Raul was he played a lot like those guys.
Yep.
Everyone around them is better just by their presence and how they took ownership. And then now you add on top that he is a really, really good inside linebacker. It just –
he's a menace.
Yeah, that's going to be a huge, loss because of his ability, but even more so because of his vocal leadership, his selflessness, just the growth that he was willing to, just take on. And, Isaiah's the same way. He's just kind of he's our ultimate competitor. He's going to show his emotion, but it's always going to be in a way that's controlled. And then you put on top of that his ability to make plays, in all three phases of the game. It's just they're going to be really, really tough to replace.
I think we looked at it. Jeff Lee had me look it up during the middle of the game, and we were able to come up with it a vague that Isaiah finished with over 2,700 total yards in his career.
Yeah.
So that like you said, that's something to be tough to replace on that. But we're going to get back into the film and show you maybe some of the kids that maybe not will replace them.
Mm-hmm.
But have the ability to become playmakers in the future for the Pioneers. So we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll wrap up the Coach Eric Belew Show with some of the highlights and some of the stars of tomorrow for the Pioneers.
Why don't you head over to Chicken Chef and enjoy a fresh, made-to-order meal, or choose from the all-time favorite like the Chicken Nugget Dinner. Stop in for breakfast, order right off the menu with sausage, gravy, fresh homemade biscuits, or try their delicious tenderloin, egg, and cheese biscuit, just to name a few. Whatever your taste buds call for, you're sure to find it at Chicken Chef. They've been serving Warren and surrounding counties for over 40 years. Stop in today, Chicken Chef on the Strip in McMinnville. You can call your order in to go at 473-5020.
Need a pick-me-up? Start your day at the Cafe at Tree City. Open daily from 5 a.m. to 7 p.m. They serve rich, bold espresso, pulled to perfection. Pair it with one of their delicious treats for the perfect combo.
Their skilled baristas are passionate about crafting your perfect cup, whether it's a classic latte or a refreshing cold brew. They've got your coffee cravings covered.
Short on time? Order ahead for quick pickup or curbside delivery. Your fresh coffee is just a sip away.
The Cafe at Tree City, your go-to spot for expertly crafted espresso drinks. Wake up, sip up, enjoy.
At Pioneer Building Supply, we're your one-stop shop for lumber, tools, and building supplies. Whether you're tackling a major renovation or just need a few materials for a small project, we've got you covered. From framing to finishing touches, we have the products and expertise to help you get the job done right. Stop by and see us today at 231 Northgate Drive, Suite 250, McMinnville, or give us a call at 931-473-7777. Our friendly, knowledgeable team is always ready to help you with whatever you need for your next project. For 50 years, Pioneer Building Supply has been the trusted name in construction materials. We've built our reputation on quality, service, and the commitment to your success. Pioneer Building Supply, building your dreams since 1975.
Pioneer Building Supply. Pioneer Building Supply, where good business make good friends.
Pioneer Building Supply.
McMinnville, you're a part of me. McMinnville, McMinnville, Tennessee. There's nothing like you anywhere around. I'm proud to say you're my hometown.
This is Christy Partain with Graves Family Pharmacy, and we check all the boxes when it comes to family, community, and patient care. We have the best drive-thru in town where you will be greeted with a smile, and you can talk to us while being fully protected from the sun and the rain. Why go to a big box store when you can talk with local people that truly care about you and your family? Follow us on Facebook and feel free to ask questions. Come see us on Main Street at Graves Family Pharmacy, where you are much more than just a name and date of birth.
McMinnville, Tennessee.
It's been said that when someone you love has Parkinson's, you have Parkinson's. If you have questions, the Parkinson's Foundation has answers. Learn more at parkinson.org or call 1-800-473-4636.
We are back here on WBMC 97.7 FM with the Coach Eric Belew Show. I am Jeff Simmons. Got a little visit during the break there, Coach. Hot dogs. Sullen said he'd bring you one.
Thank you.
He brought you an entire pack right there. Brought me a Diet Coke. Got you a Coke.
Hannah canceled dinner plans tonight. We've got beef franks from Coach Sullen. Jumbo restaurant style beef franks.
Just go get some buns. You'll be in good shape.
Thanks, Coach.
Oh, man. God, he's awesome. Go to the comment section. Had it pull up, but now watching it now. Keith Fleming says, have to say, being Isaiah's father, I was on cloud 9 during the game, and I want to thank Coach and the team. Krista Dillard Fleming says that she does not think that Isaiah likes being tackled, but Christopher does not like being tackled or touched at all. And Keith also said that Rawl is a beast coming off the line, and Brent Carden told me that I need to watch his videos. Yeah. Thank y'all for the comment section. Appreciate that. Not the Ben Lomond Connect comment. It could be the Ben Lomond Connect message board. We're okay with that on that. But for the people that don't understand the connotation, that don't watch the Sports Authority, we're talking about maybe delivering a hot dog on the sideline at the bowl game or during the bowl game. And we also said that if you pulled off a fumble rooski, maybe we'd get you a hot dog on that one. The play didn't go exactly how you wanted it to go.
It didn't work the way that it worked in practice.
I knew it. I was sitting there watching it, and I looked at the alignments, since I've seen every snap y'all played this year, the moment y'all went into that alignment, I said, "There it is. Yep. That's going to be it. Here it comes."
Yeah. Just whiffed a down block. But
the funny one was I don't think Jeff Lee noticed it on the broadcast. But then Jay, after about a second watching, goes, I think that was a fumble Rooski.
Yeah.
I was like, it was, Jay, it was.
And the best thing that Hayden Watts he's another senior that deserves his flowers, you know. The best stat of the night, Hayden Watts, 1 carry, 0 yards.
Did I write that?
Yeah,
I think
you got to stat it.
I was going to make sure I was going to make sure that I put that in there on that one. I was hoping he was going to bust it for an absolute touchdown. Oh, mercy. Vanessa Trapp says, Coach, thank you so much for all your hard work this season. Can't wait till next season. Well, hey, let's go to the video links here and watch some of the kids that were in there at the very end of the game and made some plays. You went to A.J. Whitman, as you have most of the year, at quarterback, and then Huck Damon got in. Christian Munoz. Yeah. Welcome back, son.
Yeah.
Good job, man. He did a good job. He got him in the end zone here. But the offense didn't change a lot. Just kept running the ball, kept making plays.
Yeah, I think what is nice about our offense is that up front for the linemen, it's not going to be a big change. We can kind of change what we're doing based on our personnel, with what's going on in the backfield. And, A.J. obviously has a great running element to him. So we like to mix that in as much as we can. Munoz, that's something that'll get you a little choked up. He got cleared to come back the last week, and he's one of those that he deserved to get into the end zone. He's just a great kid. He broke his collarbone at the scrimmage at UTC at the beginning of the year, and got him back this week, and glad that we could reward him.
Yeah, he was a kid that he could have opted out. Could have said, "Hey, I'll wait till next year, Coach," but showed up it seemed like he was there all the time. Was with his team all the time, and as you said, get him on the jet sweep and get him into the end zone in the second half. Also, in the second half, we got the offense still rolling, got the defense still playing really hard. You did something at the very start of the second half that I don't think people noticed exactly what you did, but I thought it was a very incredibly impressive thing and a touching thing. Was came out and played the very first snap of the second half, and it looked like you had every senior that plays defense on the field.
Yeah.
And then immediately when y'all make the tackle, which I think was a tackle for loss, you make the sub. Yeah. And it kind of gives your seniors the curtain call. And then as you then also did that with Isaiah and Brady when Isaiah set the record. Was that what was it like in the stadium when those things happened?
Yeah, it's obviously very emotional, because that's it. That's the last time that, I'm going to get the chance, and these coaches are going to get the chance to coach these guys up on the field. It's very emotional. It's very, it's difficult to soak in with everything still going on. But we hope that kind of doing it that way, that they kind of get highlighted, a little bit more as if you do it in a more traditional way. So, we just trying to give them their flowers as many ways as we can.
Yep. Now we go into the backfield now, and you have, again, A.J. Whitman's in the backfield, but it looks like 24 is in there, which is Jacob C.
Jacob C., yeah.
Tell me about this kid, because as we're going to see in the highlights, he can run pretty well. He runs it pretty well.
Yes, he's very physical. Sophomore, just really, really hard worker. And he's somebody that needs to be on people's radar because he can do a lot of different things. He's worked a lot at returner, gotten a lot of carries in JV. Just very, very explosive. Once he gets going, he's tough to stop.
Yep. And I can go across the line right here. I'm going to tell you right now, this kid, not a senior. This kid, left guard, not a senior.
Freshman.
Center, not a senior. Not a senior, not a senior, and not a senior.
Yeah.
So this entire offensive line is back, could be net back next year, and they do a pretty good job of opening some holes for both AJ, who can move.
Yeah, absolutely. He's just super athletic. And we're really excited about what different variables of quarterback that he brings to the table.
Yep.
He's just, and then putting in a Marion Verge in, a freshman quarterback there at the end as well.
Yep, and of course he hands off to Jacob C., who makes plenty. That's interesting. He runs to green, and then it looks like he's kind of avoiding contact, but at the very end he's like, no, I can get some more here. Let me get back in here.
Yeah, probably watching Isaiah.
You think that's going to be? You think that might be the stutter stop and jump cuts and everything? Yeah. Like how much y'all are going to have to just live with that as a program, because now that's just going to be how everybody tries to run the ball.
Usually same thing with Isaiah and Chris both. I'll let you do it until it doesn't work. And fortunately for them, it worked pretty much every time. So
Yeah. So as long as you can, I like that. That's good coaching right there. And then, of course, again, too, getting the ball to Jacob C. And this kid really, I thought was very impressive in his limited work here in this game. Gets up and down, gets north and south, and I think he's very fast.
Yeah, he is. He's he's very raw. Like there's so much that he can grow in. He's going to be a really, really good football player for us.
Yep. And this was putting the final bows on a 64-0 win for the Pioneers. What happened on this last PAT though? Was there that
was a poor decision. That was we'll just say somebody wanted to play coach on the field.
All right, we can get off the video now, Connor.
Kids will be kids.
We have a Jameis situation.
Yeah.
Well, Jameis situation. Understandable.
Jumbo B. Franks.
Right? The funny thing about that is when those decisions are made out there, it's like, yeah, but I got to be the one that has to go through the handshake line after the game, and that's hard to explain on that one. I'm sure they're coaching. The good thing about it is it's a good coaching moment again.
That's right. Yep.
And you got kids that will come back next year and have a good time. That you'll be able to say, hey, listen. We got to maybe make a better decision in that moment on that one.
Yeah.
We'll say this much: Gavin Looper perfect on extra points in the game, aside from the run that didn't go for him on that one.
And he's coming back.
I mean, Coach, what would you say is the most exciting part about the fact that you have so many kids that grew exponentially through this season, and they're going to be back in the weight room probably next Monday?
Yeah, we'll give them a week off, and then we'll get back at it next Monday. And I think, had such a special group of seniors, but the only issue with that class is that there was only 10 of them. You wish you had 4 Rauls, you wish you had more Isaiahs, and they just did such a great job. But moving forward. We did have a lot of young guys that had to play because of our small number of seniors. So we had one senior up front. There were some situations where, Raul and Xavier were the only seniors on the field, on defense at times. So we're really excited about that young group. The freshman group of linemen have a tremendous amount of potential. And we're really excited that we got the experience that we've got with also even younger talent coming up.
I'm going to use a word that gets people in trouble: recruit.
Mm-hmm.
How do you use what happened this season to go and get into the hallways? Because in a lot of aspects, one, you were late in that. You were late because you weren't in the hallways to be able to get that going in the spring, and then by the time that you get in the fall, you're really not trying to recruit people out in August to say, "Hey, come play for our football game. We play in 2 weeks on that." But now you actually have that time.
Yeah, it's
November till the time y'all get to spring practice. How do you use what y'all did on the field this year to say y'all should be a part of this program?
Yeah, I think as coaches in the building, we can, have those conversations with those kids. Like, hey, man, you're a great athlete. Come out and play. Hey, you're a great kid. Come out and join our team. But I think ultimately how you get players in your hallways to come out and play is how your current players talk about the program. I think about Sam, who we talked about that story last week.
Yep.
His experience of, hey, I just came out because I wanted to help, and this is what my experience looked like. I think that's what's going to generate some buzz, in the hallways of, hey, they're having a blast. I want to be a part of that too. It's got to be a product that is worth playing for. And I think a lot of that goes to our kids. I tell kids all the time, the coaching staff, we're just kind of culture promoters, but the players are the culture, and ultimately they are going to be the ones that will recruit the hallways and then, increase our numbers based on their merit and all of the great things that they had done this year.
What does the Pioneer program look like in 2026 after you've had an entire year with it? What do you think was the biggest growth potential between now and maybe even the spring and then spring into the fall?
Yeah, I think the cosmetics of it will be being bigger, faster, and stronger, being in the weight room year-round. I think there should be some familiarity You know, I want to bring all of my staff back. Obviously, they did such a great job. You know, hearing the same terminology for the second year in a row is obviously, and then the same coaching. There's going to be a lot of familiarity with that. What I hope is that our fun level continues to increase. And then when that trust and discipline follows behind that fun, you can do some really, really special things.
Yep, I agree wholeheartedly with that. I think if anybody would want to describe this season in one word, I think fun would pop up a lot, especially these last 3 games where you won, convincingly in 3 straight games, and it showed over the course of the year that y'all can play against that. I think people need to, if you want to have any doubts about this program, and I don't even really want to bring up any of those, go back and watch the homecoming game and watch the fact that Hickson football team that I think that people don't understand was a very good football team. That homecoming game, and then watch some of the time that watch that Cannon County game. Watch the games that maybe didn't, the ones that did go well and the ones that didn't, and watch how much that y'all were in those games, and then know that you get a chance to go against those same 10 teams next year and see how much you've even improved more in 2026. Coach, I appreciate all the foundation that you've been able to lay this year, and I hope that the team understands, and those seniors especially understand exactly what they've been able to do about putting Warren County football back on the map.
Absolutely. I appreciate the opportunity to be here.
Yep. Well, hey, this will be the last Coach Eric Belew show of the season, but it probably won't be the last time that we talk to Coach Eric Belew here on the radio waves. We'll be probably bringing him in and talking a little bit more over the year. Might be catching him on the Sports Authority. Might be grilling out hot dogs with him every now and then, or getting some barbecue or anything like that. We will be trying to reach out to Coach Danny Fish and seeing if we might be able to do this with him during the basketball season as well. So if y'all enjoyed this, hope that let us know. You can email jeff.simmons@mainstreetmedia.llc and give us any suggestions that y'all think about for the coaching show. But this is the final Coach Eric Belew show, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you all. I appreciate it.
All right, we are out on WBMC. We will be back tomorrow on the Simmons Says Show at 9 a.m.